Hey, what's up? It's Nicola Milan and welcome back to another singing tutorial. Now, if you want to start performing in your local area, or if you just want to differentiate yourself from other singers in the market and find a niche, then I've got 3 strategies today that are going to help you do exactly that. Now, finding your niche is really important to stand out from all of the other singers, either in your local area or who sing a similar style of music to you. And this is especially important for jazz and blues singers because we tend to sing jazz standards. So we're all kind of singing the same material. And what's going to make you more hireable or, more interesting or more sort of desirable as a singer than the other jazz singer who's also doing jazz standards. Strategy number 1 is to really specialize in one particular area of your genre. So let's just take jazz and blues for an example. You've got 1920s jazz. So instead of just being, I'm a jazz singer, specialize in that 1920s sound. You could either have like a really traditional 1920s band and sing traditional songs from that era, or you could kind of go down the more kind of Great Gatsby kind of vibe and get some electronic instruments in there, do kind of modern songs with a 1920s sound. You see kind of where I'm going for here? One or a couple of jazz singers that have actually made a really good living in my local area have been the ones that specialized in swing dance music, and they get hired for a lot of the swing dance events. And there's we have swing dancing every Friday night at a local bar, and they will go and perform there pretty much every Friday night, and they rotate with a couple of bands. And I think swing dancing is huge. It's huge. I do swing dancing myself. So if you can get into the swing dance scene, then it's a nice little niche and it's kind of really cool and retro. Similarly, you've kind of got the rockabilly scene for rockabilly dancing, slightly different, a bit more rock and roll in the music style, but still within that jazz genre. Slightly different theming and like costuming and stuff like that as well, but similar but different, another little niche. You could go really cabaret and start working with, I think burlesque scene is huge, especially for jazz. There's fringe festivals around the world. There's like circus groups, burlesque performers. Dita Von Teese has made this kind of area really, really popular. And if you can get in there as a jazz singer that performs either as part of a greater burlesque show, because they kind of tend to do variety shows, or you brand yourself as the burlesque kind of singer, so you've got like the gorgeous costumes and you're doing all the sultry songs, then that's another little niche. So can you see where I'm kind of going here with specializing in one particular style of music in order to differentiate yourself from singers in the local market? The second strategy is to go original. And now this is exactly what I've done. So, if for you, original music is where it's at, like me, I'm a songwriter. I love performing my own songs more than any covers. And I love it when I have the whole band, the whole 8-piece band on stage, and it just sounds so good. And they're doing my songs and they're upbeat and the whole audience is having a good time. And I've kind of really got a nice little niche going with my original music as well. It's got a little bit of a 1920s vibe, so people tend to really dress up flapper and all kind of Great Gatsby glamour when they come to my gigs. The music's obviously not 1920s authentic, and we mix in some hip hop beats and things like that with it. So it's quite friendly jazz, very palatable, but it's super, super, super fun. And so that's kind of the niche that I've created for myself, but by going original. And you can do this like Norah Jones sort of style jazz, but do your own kind of sultry, soft, original stuff. Like Melody Gardot's another modern jazz singer who writes a lot of her own stuff. I love Melody Gardot. She's so cool. So yeah, that's a really great way, if you're a singer-songwriter, of carving out a niche. Oh, and by the way, if you're kind of like, but I just want to get cafe gigs and no one wants to listen to original music, that's not true. I do a lot of gigs actually at one of the venues called Jazz Fremantle here in Perth. And one thing that they said to me is that a lot of people come in and they're always singing the same stuff, but they don't have to worry about that with me because they sing original music. So, I think the consumer palette for original songs is really growing. So don't be afraid to just do a cafe gig and do all originals. And the bonus is that you get live performance returns every time you perform your original songs live. And my third strategy for differentiating yourself and creating a nice little niche is branding. Never underestimate the power of branding. So we're talking, perfect example actually. Perfect example. There was this cool punk rock fluoro pink jazz flautist that I came across in my online travels one day. And I can't remember her name because this was so long ago, but she's always stuck in my mind because her branding was so strong. And I'm like, oh, punk rock kind of like, so she obviously didn't play punk rock, but she really liked streetwear and punk rock clothing and all that kind of stuff. And so her website was all branded kind of black and white with big slashes of fluoro pink. And she wore, big moon boots, like chunky shoes, and she had plaits in her hair with a big puffer jacket. It was super cool. And she was so memorable. Even if she kind of did similar-ish kind of music, her branding made her stand out. And I think you've probably got access to different events and things like that if you can kind of slot into a different area of your genre purely through branding. Anyway, so those are my 3 strategies for carving out your niche and differentiating yourself from other singers in the local area. And don't forget to grab your 4 free vocal warm-ups. I will put a link down below, or there's one on the header of my YouTube channel. They come with like sing-along video tutorials and the MP3 downloads as well of the backing tracks that you can work with. And I put them in both male and female vocal ranges to make it super convenient for you. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to like, because it really helps boost the video and show it to other people who may enjoy this content. Subscribe for more singing tutorials and videos like this. If you would like some more kind of arty content about music and creative lifestyle, as well as to hear me sing, I will link my other YouTube channel probably at the end of this video or down below. Otherwise, I will see you again next time. If you would like to learn more with me, join me in my 6-week Singing Academy, an intensive singing training program for beginner singers. The link is in the description.